a pestilence has spread across the land. The kingdom has ordered all denizens to remain indoors for the safety of the order. You, being a good citizen, need to continue to do your adventuring, but you are stuck indoors. And how are you going to do that? Well, let me tell you, I got this cool thing called Tabletop Sim that I love to play and use for D&D. I've got tons of videos that you've probably already seen on using Tabletop Sim for D&D. I have had a very frequent request that people want to see more maps and like, how do I get this map? Is this map available on the workshop? And I got back into Tabletop Sim. As you might know, I've been trying to run some sci-fi D&D, and I've been using some pre-made online maps I found for that, but I'm starting to run out of maps, so I gotta start making my own. So I got back into Tabletop Sim and found that a frequent complaint of a whole bunch of mods on the workshop is that a whole bunch of the assets in Tabletop Sim have links to websites that provide the textures and models and such, and a whole bunch of those websites are going down as time goes on. People remove it from their Dropbox or their Google Drive, and links get broken and things don't work anymore. Tabletop Sim has added a sweet new feature where you can upload all of your assets and such to the Steam cloud, which is much more stable. And I decided that that was something that people could use right now in these trying times, is they could use a whole bunch of free, ready-to-go maps that are stable with everything loaded to the Steam cloud. And I can promise you that the links, whatever links currently work, some still are broken because there's a bajillion of things I had to sort through. Whatever links currently work will continue to work. I will keep them on my Steam cloud for you to use and download and edit and do whatever you want. And I compiled all of my maps, uploaded them to the workshop, everything linked to the Steam cloud, and put them into a big collection. Half of them, or maybe a little less than half of them, are my original work, which I'll get through, and a whole bunch of them are my favorite collections, some of which had partially broken links and such, which I've cleaned up, re-uploaded, and just hosted myself for you to use. They're not my original works, but I wanted to offer a stable platform for you to grab these maps and quickly get into Tabletop Sim for D&D. So, jumping over to the game right now, when you load up the game, this is what you'll see initially. I'll do a quick run through on how to get a workshop map. So you'll go to create, generally single player, or if you want to play with friends, you do multiplayer, and then you'll invite them to the game. I'll do single player for now. And so what you do is you see workshop. This is everything that you subscribe to on the Steam Workshop. If you go to my collection, which I'll link in the description below, you can hit subscribe to all, which will automatically subscribe you to all of the maps that I've created and uploaded, and you'll see those show up here in your workshop tab. You can just click and load, and that will bring it right up. And so right here you have, I have an office I made for a wizard, or some sort of councilman that would use this office, and you can use this in your games. And so what's super easy is, say you didn't like this couch, right click delete. Didn't like this couch, right click delete. Now you can customize this map as much as you want, and then what you can do is save off your own version locally. So you go save and load, create, select whatever folder you want it to go in, name it something, and hit save. And then in the future, let's say I wanted to open up my local version of this map that I have saved myself. I'll click on Office, which is what I saved it as, load, and there it is again. It's asking if you want to open Google on this iPad right here. I say yes. And there's my couches from when I saved this last. So that's how you do that. Super easy to use. So I'll just really quickly go through all of the maps that I've uploaded. I'll use my local ones because they will load faster for this video. So we got a river encounter, basic one. I have a whole bunch of weather and like effects cubes that you can drag and drop on there if you want them. Next up, we got a burning field. So this is a field that got scorched by dragon's breath. I use this encounter for a bunch of kobolds to attack the party. Also effects cube of cool rolling gray fog. Next one. Who got her? Torture chamber. This is a vampire that has a secret torture chamber behind his bedroom that he lures people, traps them, and does various experiments in there. I was very proud of this one. Definitely screwed over the gnome in our party, but the party saved him. Next one, we've got a huge manor / castle. This is one of the ones that I had just saved. It's huge and really well done. This is just a re-upload with stable links for you all to use. Super intricate, massive castle ballistas guarding it. It's awesome. Next, we got a forest village that I made. This is just a quaint little small village. Just basic, everyday village. Next, we got this is my Illithid encounter. The party went through this massive, still like living tree, sentient tree, and in this cavern they encountered these Illithids that were trying to corrupt it. So there's bodies and broken skulls everywhere, and here's the Illithids. And there was originally acid. The acid blocks got their links broken, so I replaced it with water. And here's the party. Next, we've got a jail. This is just a common small town jail. Good, useful thing to have whenever your rogue decides to pickpocket the town mayor and doesn't roll well. Got a basic forest map. This one is just super easy to drag and drop into any basic forest random encounter. Good to have on hand. We've got a cavern. This is one that I found. We actually had a party member die in this encounter. So that wasn't fun for everybody, but super fun anyways. There were bridges that connected these. Those bridge textures disappeared, so you'll have to figure out a way to connect these if you choose to, or it could be a fun kind of factor in this encounter that they have to leap from platform to platform. Next, we have Mountain Altar. This is one of my original works. This is at the top of a craggy mountain. This was actually a wizard that was drawing power into this altar here that was attracting a whole bunch of wyverns. And you can drag and drop fog and snow onto this. I really liked it because this separation, these holes, made the party have to jump, and kind of there's a risk to getting close to the altar, and that if they got hit or knocked off, they would fall and have to make some saves to not fall very far and take a bunch of damage. Next, we got a Goblin Fortress. I made a Let's Build on this one, as well as that Illithid Cavern that you saw before. The Goblin Fortress is super big. This is unfortunately one that has a whole bunch of broken links. This is what happens when you get a broken link. This one is for these sandy tiles right here. It's super easy to resolve per tile. You can just highlight this, delete it, and then click away, and then you can hit import, and it fixes it for that one. So I can right-click custom, and that no longer has the broken link. This is the Steam Cloud links that I have uploaded and are going to be stable. But as you can see, there's like over 100 or 200 of these sand tiles in here. I just did not have the patience in me to go through and remove all those broken links. It's for something that doesn't really affect this bump texture. Doesn't affect the tiles, so you're free to just get rid of all those at your own leisure. So this is a cool Goblin Fortress. It defended a wizard in a watchtower. I enjoyed it. Next, we've got a canyon. This is just one I found online and re-uploaded. I have never had a canyon encounter, but I still think this is a super cool one to have. Got a lot of dimensionality to it in ruins and such. Next, we've got a magic forest. It's kind of like a fey enchanted. It's got tiny little huts that you can put little smurfs in. Good dense forest to have on hand. This was also one of my non-original works. I just re-uploaded it. Same thing with this small village. There used to be a bridge running through it, and you'll have to find some solution to that bridge through the river. But I cleared out the broken textures and replaced them with steam clouded ones. Getting towards the ends, we got a huge snowy mountain pass. This one is one of my favorite ones I've ever found on the workshop. It had a number of broken links, and I fixed / re-uploaded / deleted those. But it's just so massive and so intricate. I think it's awesome. Burning City, good one to have if there's a siege or a major army attacking a city and the party has to go through an enemy army's soldiers or raiders and such. Next, we've got The Office I already showed you. This one I also made in one of my Tabletop Sim tutorial videos. This is just a basic forest camp. I have a rain block if you want it to make it rain. But it's just a good camp to have. The party could use it, and they could be woken up by a wolf attack in the middle of the night, or they can stumble across this. Next, we have just a basic marketplace. I made this as your typical, like, oh, we're having a shopping session, but all of a sudden the rogue gets sticky fingers and gets caught, and the party's running away from or fighting a whole bunch of city guards. Just good one to have on hand. And that does it for my collection. You can feel free to subscribe to it on Steam at the link in the description below. It will you can hit subscribe to all, it'll subscribe and download all of them for you. And then one question I frequently have is, hey Drew, I downloaded the mod, I customized it, blah, blah, blah. I want to run a session with my players. How does that work? So when you go into multiplayer, you'll open up a multiplayer session, load up this map, and whenever your players that are also in the multiplayer session don't have the map themselves downloaded or anything, it'll do that automatically. You just, same exact interface, save and load. You will choose the map you want to load for your players, and it will begin downloading all the textures in the map for them right away without any interaction on their part. I think it's a super slick interface. So thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoy it. I hope this will help you enjoy D&D in these remote times. I plan on starting to upload more Tabletop Sim videos, making maps for my sci-fi campaign, and I will try to adapt these maps to more general purpose / fantasy uses so that non-sci-fi D&D players could use them too. And for every map, I'll make a subsequent video and upload them to my workshop for you to use for free. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great time playing and stay safe.